Hi guys, welcome back to another interesting crash course on my channel Guru Clutch. Now in this crash course we'll be learning MongoDB from scratch. Okay, so in the previous crash course we had already learned about expressions, right? So right here let us go ahead and explore something about MongoDB. Now all of you might have heard about the SQL databases like MySQL, then PostgreSQL. There are a lot of SQL databases out there, and you have to write up a lot of queries in order to perform some task in the databases. Okay, so you have a lot of queries like select queries, insert, update, delete, creating foreign keys, inner join, left join, and many more things in SQL. But MongoDB is a NoSQL database because all the data is stored in just a JSON format, that is JavaScript object notation format, which makes it easier for JavaScript developers to easily use MongoDB with any kind of application. Like you can use MongoDB with Node.js, or let us say JavaScript. You can use MongoDB with Python and other languages as well. But MongoDB, let me tell you, it has the native support for Node.js only. I don't know about client-side JavaScript. Okay, so now here, what you have to do is to install MongoDB. You can see that under this products category, under this products drop down, you're having this community edition. Okay, so you have two editions by the way, that is enterprise advanced and community edition. But let me tell you that we will use the community edition. Okay, let us open that in a new tab, and here we have Atlas as well. We'll be exploring them. Okay, right here we are having the MongoDB community edition, which will be just downloading and installing on our system. Now here you can see if we'll click on download community, we will get a lot of links right here to download the community server. Okay, so right here you can see we're getting a lot of things here, a lot of versions. We will use the current version, not the release candidate version. Okay, and you can select your platform, that is I'm on Windows x64-bit computer. Okay, and I'm choosing MSI. Now, if you don't want to install MongoDB on your system but want to take it in a pen drive and just roam around and inject anywhere, if you want to use MongoDB, go ahead with the zip installation. Now, what will happen is all the extracted files will be downloaded. You have to extract that and place it manually on your pen drive or on the system. Okay, but we'll be using the MSI, that is the Windows installer file, to install it on our system, not using the zip file. So if I'll click on download, it will start downloading the MongoDB Windows, this one. Okay, this is my MSI file that will be downloaded right here. Okay, so I'll be just waiting for this to get downloaded and I'll be right back. So it has downloaded the Windows installer file, and let us just execute this file. Okay, so after executing this file, you can see that we are getting the setup wizard. Okay, so right here what I will do is I will go here and click on next. Then you can read the license agreement, spend 10 minutes or 15 minutes and read the license agreement and accept that. Click on next, and you have to choose either of these. So I'll be suggesting you to go with complete, because with custom what will happen is you have to choose your custom features and you can select the features that you have to install you need. But with complete installation, all the features will be installed on the system. I'll be suggesting you to go with complete installation. Now, what is this? Install MongoDB as a service. Okay, what is this service? If you don't know, let me tell you that it will run behind. Okay, it's a background process that will be running whenever you log in into a computer. Okay, so whenever you log in into a computer, what will happen is if you check your task manager, it will be automatically running behind the scenes and you can always connect to this service. Otherwise, you may have to manually restart your service. Okay, so but what we will do is we'll be installing MongoDB as a service. You can search about what's a network service user and then click on next. Okay, and these are the directories wherever your data will be stored and wherever your logs will be stored. I'll be not suggesting you to modify these directories. Click on next, and here you can see that you are getting this prompt install MongoDB Compass. Now, MongoDB, or you can say MongoD, is actually a service, and we require MongoDB Compass, which is a GUI. Sometimes what happens is MongoDB Compass is not not installed automatically. So what you can do is directly go to products, and here you have under tools, you have Compass. Okay, just download and install MongoDB Compass manually if you are unable to find the MongoDB Compass on your system after checking this option. You can uncheck this option and skip the MongoDB Compass installation if you want to go through a manual installation of MongoDB Compass. But for now, let us just check that. Okay, it will be checked by default. Then click on next and ready to install MongoDB. This is the version, and let us click on install. Now, after clicking on install, you will get a USC, or you can say user account control prompt. Okay, which will ask whether to allow this particular installer to make modifications on your computer or not. Okay, so now you can see this is the administrative icon. Click on yes, and I want this to modify some changes on my computer because I trust that. And it will take some time to install MongoDB Compass as well. Okay, so what I will do is I will just pause the recording and I'll be back after MongoDB Compass has been installed. So MongoDB Compass has been installed right here, and you can see, let us close this wizard. And here is our MongoDB Compass. Now, wait a second. To just remove the connection. Now, this is the default UI that you will be getting after installing MongoDB Compass. Okay, so we'll be going through a thorough guide through this MongoDB Compass, how we can add connections, how we can configure some settings, how we can create databases, collections, insert documents, many more things also will be going through the MongoDB shell. So this is the end of our module number 1, in which we had a brief introduction about MongoDB, not very in very detail. Okay, so in the module number 2, we'll be having a thorough investigation, or you can say thorough walkthrough through this particular MongoDB corpus. Okay, so let's go to the second module. So this is our module number 2. Now in this module, we'll be going through the MongoDB corpus. Okay, basically we'll be having a tour about the MongoDB Compass. Okay, now let us just proceed to this module. Now here I am on my MongoDB Compass, and this is my initial UI. By the way, what you can see is you will be seeing the welcome page by default. If I open it again, okay, what you will see is you will see the open page by default. Okay, welcome page, sorry. Open page, not open page. It's actually the welcome page. Okay, right here, if you can see this welcome page, that means it has been installed correctly and your MongoDB service is running behind the scenes. If you'll see your task manager and go to details on Windows, if I'll go down, you can see that we're getting this MongoDB service here as a network service. Okay, now what we can do is here, right? Here we have a bunch of things like connections. We can actually import and export our connections. Okay. If you have saved your connection somewhere else, you can import them, or else you can export your existing connections. Then if you go on edit, you can see you can undo or redo any changes, cut, copy, paste, and select all, find. Then in settings, you have these many settings. Okay. Now you can see that we are having this enable dev tools that will enable the Chromium developer tools, that is the Chrome inspect element. Okay. And we have a bunch of things right here. Enable MongoDB shell, set read-only mode. And what will happen is if you set to read-only mode, you cannot insert, or let us say you cannot write and delete any of the data. Write, delete, and update. You cannot perform these three actions if you set this to read-only mode. Okay, and protect connection string secrets, hide credentials in connection strings from users. Okay, we can check this. And in theme, I'm actually using my default system theme. You can use light or dark by default, but I'm using the sync with OS option that will just sync the theme with my operating system. Okay, then we are having this privacy options, proxy configurations. Okay, then OIDC configuration. I don't know what's that. Then we have AI features. Now, if we try to log in with Atlas, what will happen is you can enable AI features in your MongoDB Compass. So let us click on save. And right here we are having a bunch of things. And if you click on this My Queries, you will tend to see all the find queries and all the queries that you have run, also the aggregation queries that you have also run. Okay, so you can see your queries right here, and then if you click on this icon here, if you can see my cursor, so what this will do is it will actually collapse all the connections. Okay, and then we have this plus icon to add a new connection, this three dots to import or export connection. So if you click on add new connection, you will have a bunch of options. First of all, we have this URI. Okay, now if you click on this I button, okay, you will be redirected to this page. You can use connection strings to define connection between MongoDB instances and the following destination. Your application when you connect using drivers, tools such as MongoDB Compass and the MongoDB shell, MongoSH. Okay, and you can also use Atlas CLI. Okay, Atlas clusters you can connect to your Finder MongoDB Atlas connection string. You can find your MongoDB Atlas connection string. You can actually connect your database to the MongoDB Atlas. Okay, I'll be going into that after some time. Okay, right here, what we can do is we can copy the string and just name it anything. Let us say my local host. If you not provide any name, it will just set the name to this URI only. Then you can select your connection color. It will have a background color. And if you select blue, it will have a background color of blue. Favorite this connection, it will mark it, it will make it, mark it as star. Okay, it will be top on all of your connections. Okay, then we have some advanced options, general MongoDB plus SRV. Okay, so we can use MongoDB plus SRV, but we'll be using this MongoDB. Okay, now we are having this authentication. Now we are on the local instance, so we don't need any type of authentication. Yeah, we can also provide any type of authentication if you want. Okay. Now, if we'll provide any authentication, you can see that it's giving us the username and password right there. But I will not give any authentication. Okay. I'll not give any authentication. Now we have TLS, SSL, proxy SSH, in-use encryption, and some advanced things. Okay. You can also go through all of these things. And if I click on save and connect, you can see that I'm connected here. Okay. I'm connected right here and I'm having this blue color background. Let me do one thing. Let me just change my theme to light. Okay. Save it. And you can see I'm having this blue color background here, but I don't like this particular light theme. I'll just keep it synced with my operating system. Okay. Now we are having this three databases by default. Okay. And you don't need to go through this. Actually, these are all of the startup logs that we get whenever we install MongoDB on our system. Okay, these are all of these are the startup blocks. Now, I had actually installed MongoDB on this system on 2025 February 13th because this particular my Windows was formatted on that day. Okay, there from that day it has kept all the logs, all the startup logs. Okay, now I had actually uninstalled this particular instance. Okay, before creating this tutorial. Okay, now we are having connection, we don't have any connection, and sorry, we have this config database, we don't have any connection. Also inside admin, we don't have any of the connections. Okay, now what can I do is I can actually connect my MongoDB Compass to one Atlas instance. Okay, let me show you about Atlas instance. Okay, so let us go to this products. Actually, we can go to Atlas. Okay, and after going here, you can see that we'll click on get started. Okay, and what I'll do is create your Atlas account. Not create your Atlas account. If you don't have any Atlas account, you can sign up with Google or provide your credentials here. But I'll just go with sign. Now let me come back after signing into my Atlas account. So here I am logged in into my Atlas account. Actually, I had to make some changes. Okay. And right here, I have deleted all of my organizations, all of my databases and projects. Right here, let us name our organization. Let us name it Flux. Okay. And this is available. Now we can have this MongoDB Atlas. And what will happen is you have two roles. So I will not two roles, actually two cloud services. So what I'll do is I'll just select this MongoDB Atlas. Okay, then click on next. After clicking on next, we don't have to provide any email, but let me just provide my email. So after providing my email, I am here inside my organization. Okay, and right here, what I will do is here I will just create a project. Okay, I'll create a new project. Let us name it as YouTube tutorials. Okay, YouTube tutorials. And here, what I'll do is I will use this project for all of rest of my tutorials. Okay, and then click on next. After clicking on next, I'll be the project owner. Okay, and here, what can I do is right here, I will create a cluster. So after creating a cluster, so I'll select the free instance and it will named as cluster 0. Select any of your provider. I'm selecting AWS and this is my nearest location. Then click on create deployment. Now after clicking on the create deployment, it will provide you with the password, create database sensor, and choose a connection method. We can choose Compass, but actually we have this cluster 0 provisioning. Actually, what we can do is we can actually connect to our database. Okay, now let us click on this connect button. Okay, connect button, and after clicking on Compass, you'll see the connection URI. Okay, then click on this add icon. Okay, and right here, what I'll do is I will just go for authentication and I'll provide my password. Okay, and then save and connect. Save and connect. Now it's connecting to our MongoDB cluster database. Now you can see we are having this MongoDB cluster database. Now what we can do is actually we can go ahead and just do one thing, that load some sample data. We can actually load some sample data, and I don't know, it's actually loading sample data by default. Okay, it's actually loading this sample data. Okay, and let us wait for some time till it adds all the sample data to our sample index. Now here inside the local instance, Let me tell you that how you can create your like database and collections. There is not nothing much to do with this. You don't have to write any queries. Just click on this create database. Okay. So let us just name our database as my blog. Okay. And just have a posts collection. Okay. So like this, you can create your database and collection right here. So we don't have anything much to do with this. Okay, so this was a short thing that I had to tell you that how to create a database and connection. Okay, right here it's loading all the sample data and let us wait for that. Now it will load a huge amount of sample data. So around the sample data will be of size will be of like 51 to 52 MB of size. Okay. So let us wait for that. Can see that it has loaded all of the sample data. Now it's of size around 90 MB. Okay, that's a huge amount of size. If you go here, you can see you can find a lot of things like 41,000 comments. Okay, then we have embedded movies, 3.5K, that is 3,500, 21,000 movies. Then we have one session. Okay, one session. Then we have theaters, around 1,600 theaters, and total 185 users. Okay, so this was all about the tour of MongoDB. Okay, and in the next module, module number 3, we'll be learning how we can insert data into a specific collection. Okay, so let's meet in the next module. So this is our module number 3. Now in the previous module, we had a thorough tour about this MongoDB compass. Okay. And also we had learned how we can create a cluster or a database in the MongoDB Atlas and connect that in our MongoDB compass. Okay, right here, what I will do is I will now connect to my local instance. Okay, and here I am inside my particular localhost instance, and here I had created a collection. Okay, now let me just tell you again that how can you create a database. Let us create a database. So let me create this MongoDB crash course. So crash course. Let us just keep it like this, crash course. Okay, now if you keep like this, it will create a database with this name and a collection. Now, what is a collection? Let me tell you. Basically, if you remember in MySQL databases, if you have ever used a MySQL database, okay, or let us say if you have ever used Excel sheets. So what happens is the collection name is the particular table, or you can say the collection name is a table or a structure where we have a number of properties. Okay, in SQL we can say that they are the attributes. Okay, and here we have a number of properties, and the collection name is basically a table name that you can compare with the SQL if you know that. Okay, and so let us just name it as blocks. Okay, now I'll click on this create database. Now here we have created this database, and right here what I will do is I will go ahead here and I will do one thing. I'll just insert a document. Now you can see that after clicking on that insert document, actually this underscore ID is generated by default. We don't have to generate it separately. Okay, and right here, what can I do is I can just write a title. Okay, so learn Flask web development. Okay, okay, and we can also insert content here. Content like let us say, let me just go ahead in my browser Flask Python. Let us search for Flask Python and just copy this. Okay, I'll just copy this part and paste it here. Okay, and insert not permitted while document contains error. Okay, so what's happening is that here actually somewhere we have this double quotation marks. So we have to just provide a backslash so that the backslash double quote just changes it to a single double quote. Okay, so we have to fix that. And then after this, let me just write created. Okay, created, it will be a new date. Okay. Let us say date on now. I don't think we can do something like this. Okay, so actually we cannot do something like this. Wait a second. Okay, right here, what I will do is I have changed the view from object to this. Okay, now here what I will do is I'll add another field that is created. Okay, and the type will be something called date. Okay, now new date, or let us say now as it's the type of a date, let us just insert the date. It's 29/07/2025. uh, I don't know how dates are stored here. Okay, it's not a valid date for that, so let us just ignore this date where date field. Okay, just ignore this date field. And now uh, actually I can't switch it anymore. Wait a second, let me see if we have any other errors. No, we don't have any other errors. So let us just delete this. And this has caused some problems. Let us just insert again. Title. Okay. Learn Flask Web Development. Okay. And let us just write some content here. Content. Okay. And just I will just paste that here, whatever I have copied. And similarly, what I'll do is I'll just solve out every error right here. Just replace double quotes with backslash double quotes inside the content and click on insert. Now you can see that it has created a document. Okay. And if I'll copy this, let me just do one thing. I'll just copy this. Okay. And go to chat GPT. Okay, go to ChatGPT. Now, this is one way to insert a document. Let me tell you the best way of inserting a document. What you can do is you can actually open the MongoDB shell on the local host. Now, here, what we can do is we can actually switch the database. Now, it's by default, it's pointing out to the test database. Let us write here use, and we are getting our uh, database names here. So here we'll select this MongoDB crash course, and we have switched to the MongoDB crash course. Okay, and right now what we can do is we can do something like db. Okay, db dot, and if we type db dot, we can see we are getting a lot of things. But actually, what we need is we need the blocks connection. Okay, and right here we can do something like find. If we'll do like this, it will return an array of objects. Okay, so here we have a single object only. Okay, so okay, we have a single document, so it's not returning an array. So what I will do is I'll ask ChatGPT, okay, uh, to generate 9 more similar blocks and give the array to me. Okay, so let it generate the array. Now, what I will do is I will show you that how you can insert a single document using this. So what I'll do is I'll just type a db.blocks.insert1. Okay, Now, what does this insert one takes is it will just return me. Okay, just I'll write a title, then set the title test block. Okay, and just set the content. Okay, so accidentally I pressed enter. So what it did is it has inserted a document. Let me just delete that. Go again. Okay, and what I have to do is I have to press shift enter rather than enter so that I can insert multiple lines. I'll write a test block and now I will hit enter. And I can see it's returning me acknowledged true inserted ID and this is our document ID. We can use the ID to find our document, but I'll be talking about that in the next module. Okay, right here, if I refresh it, you can see we are getting this particular data here. Okay, this particular blog here. Now here, I think it has given me all the documents. Let me copy that. Okay, and what I will do is I will go here and what I will do is I'll go ahead and write a db.blogs dot insert menu. Now this insert menu will actually take an array of objects. Okay, let us paste them here. Okay, actually this will take an array of objects. So already I am having the array notation, so I don't need that. Okay, so what I will do is after doing this, what I'll do is I will just hit enter on my keyboard. I can see that it's returning me inserted IDs. Okay, inserted IDs. It's returning me an object of inserted IDs which is having the index number as the key and the object IDs as the value pair. Okay, so we have this key value pairs. This is the index number and these are the object IDs. Now if I reload or refresh this part, you can see that I am getting a bunch of documents here. Okay. I am getting a bunch of documents. Now we can read out these documents based upon various factors using IDs, using specific filters. We'll be knowing about that later on. Okay, in the next module actually. Now this was all about inserting the documents. Now let me tell you one thing that you can also use Visual Studio Code to insert your documents. Let me show you how. So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and open my Visual Studio Code here. And what I will do is I will just a second. Let me just open another folder. Okay. So what I'll do is MongoDB crash. Oops. Okay. So I'll just create this folder here and I'll select this folder. Now what can I do is I will go ahead and install the MongoDB for VS Code extension. Now actually in the Express.js crash course we had already installed this. Now here, but don't worry, let me tell you again, you have to install this. Okay, let me just delete the connections. Okay, I'll just delete this connection, remove connection, and I'll show you from scratch how to do this. Now, after reloading, now you can see we are getting this install option. You have to install this extension. Now, after installing, we are having this particular folder here. Okay, now not folder actually, this icon here for MongoDB, and here we can add a new connection. Now you can see that we have these two options. We will not go for the advanced connection string, connection settings. So let us just connect to our local instance. So what I'll do is I'll go to my MongoDB compass and click on these three dots and copy the connection string and just paste it here. Hit enter. Now here you can see that we are getting our databases right here. Now if I click on my MongoDB crash course, then blogs, then document, if I click on any of them, you can see that I can read them inside my Visual Studio Code as well. Okay, and another benefit is that we don't have to go to the MongoDB shell one again and again. What we can do is actually here we have this playgrounds option. If I click on this create new playground, you can see it has given me a bunch of code. Use MongoDB VS Code playground DB. Then we have this collection where it has inserted many things. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll click on this run icon and it will show me a confirmation box. If I'll click on yes, what will happen is if I'll reload this, if I'll refresh, Okay, not here actually, here. If I refresh, you can see I have a new database that is MongoDB VS Code Playground. And here we have the sales and we have 8 documents inside it. Sales collection and we have 8 documents. But I want to use this one. So what can I do is I can create my custom playground rather than this. I will not use this file. What can I do is I can just go ahead and create this. Okay. So module, this is module 3 dot. So we have to write a specifically dot mongodb dot js so that we can specify this and use. We have to write the database name that is mongodb crash course. Okay. And what we can do is actually, let me just do one thing. Let me just do one thing that here what I'll do is I'll just run a method db.blogs dot delete many. Okay, and actually what's happening is, so here what I'll do is I'll just write a drop collection, drop database, not drop database actually. Here also we can create a collection by using this create collection method. We can also create a collection. So let us create a collection named users. We can also create collections like this. If I refresh, you can see we have a collection that is users. Okay, what I want is I want to delete everything. Okay, and here I'll click on this delete. No filter, delete 11 documents. I'll just delete them. Now what can I do is I can just, if I'll just refresh it here, you can see I have no data. What can I do is db.blogs.insert many. Okay, db.blogs.insert many. Now here what I will do is here we have a prompt like connected to localhost. If you are not connected, you can click on this and connect to a host right here. We have this localhost connection. Now, right here, what I will do is I'll just have my objects. First of all, I'll just paste it right here. Just remove this. I'll just remove this underscore ID from here. And also what I'll do is I will just paste this particular thing that I have copied from ChatGPT. Okay. So just format this. We have some errors. Okay. So format document. Okay, format document. Now what I will do is if I'll just run this, yes, and it will show me this playground result, inserted IDs. Now if I refresh this, you can see that I am having all the documents here. 10 documents have been inserted. Okay, so we'll be learning about reading out data from our MongoDB collection. Okay, so let's meet in the next module. So this is our module number 4. Now in the previous module, we had seen how we can insert data into our collections. Now what I will do is here, let us go ahead, and I have opened my Visual Studio Code here because it is a bit hectic to connect to the database, go to the database and open the MongoDB shell and perform all the operations here. So rather what I will do is I'll be using Visual Studio Code, and let me tell you again, so here you have to create a connection, click on this plus icon, and here you have to create a connection to your local host. You can paste the local host connection. Okay, what I'll do is I can paste the local host connection, and if I'll hit enter, it will just connect to my local host. Okay, so I already have this connection, so let me just remove this duplicate connection. Okay, so right here I'll open my MongoDB crash course collection, and here we have a bunch of blogs here. Okay, now what I will do is I will go ahead and create a module 4 module4.mongodb.js file. Now here first of all let us just write simply use, then we have to provide the database name MongoDB crash course. Okay, and right here what I will do is next I will show you that how you can filter out our documents or find or read our documents. Okay, first of all, read all documents. Okay, read all documents. Now, if I try to read all the documents, the syntax is something like this. You have to write a db.blogs dot find. Okay, so right here, if I'll provide one empty filter set, okay, let us provide one empty filter set, or I will not provide any filters, or just run this particular thing. Okay, if I'll run this, yes, okay, right here you can see that. Let me just do one thing. Let me just bring it here. So right here you can see that we are getting an array of objects. Now here, what can I do inside my MongoDB compass as well? What can I do is I can also go ahead, connect, okay, and here inside my MongoDB crash course, okay, so just right here, this, wait a second, okay, so use MongoDB crash course and db.blogs.find. Okay, we can also do something like this, and it will also return the same thing right here. Okay, so these are the objects that have been returned. Now here you can see that we are getting one array, but here you can see we are getting directly the objects, but actually it's an array of objects. If you properly see, these are array of objects. Okay, the this is a single document, and we have an array of documents. Okay, we have an array of documents. Now let us say that what I want to do is, okay, what I want to do is, I will show you the documentation of for MongoDB. Okay, so MongoDB, let us go to the documentation section. Okay, and let us see what do we have for the find methods. Okay, now we have two more methods. Okay, right here what I will do is I'll write a read a document based on the filter. Okay, based on the filter. Now db.logs.find1. Okay, db.logs.find1, and let me do one thing. Let me just do one thing, that what I will do is I will just uh, here uh, what I will do is let me just ask ChatGPT. Okay, let me just ask ChatGPT. What I will do is I will ask ChatGPT. So here I think okay. So insert slug field. Okay, to all blocks including first. Okay, so here it's returning me the blocks array with all the blocks having a slug field. Okay, so what I will do is I will just go ahead, and here I will just delete the all the blocks. I'll just delete all 10 documents. Okay, and just reload it. And here what I will do is I will just wait for some time till it generates all the blocks. Okay, it will take some time to generate all the blocks, I think. Yeah, let us just copy this. And what I will do is I'll just open my MongoDB shell. Okay, db dot blogs dot insert many. What I'll do is I'll just write this part, this array right here that I have got from ChatGPT. Okay, I'll just insert this array of blogs here, and what I will do is I'll also update the code for you all. Okay, I'll just update the code for you all right here. Okay, paste it right here. I have just updated the code so that you don't face any problems. Now, why I'm doing this? Because I want that we should be able to filter out blocks on some specific conditions. Okay, right here, what I will do is I'll just write a slug. Okay, slug. Let us say we have to get this particular block, learn Flask web development. Now, if I'll paste it here, what will happen is, what does this find one part do is, it will just return the first occurrence of the document. Okay, so if you filter on any basis, let us say you're filtering with the title or content, and on any basis, this find one will always return the first occurrence of the document. If I run this, you will see that we'll get the playground result, and this is a single document that it returns. Okay, and we also have another method, that is find by id. We don't need this slug field. We can also go ahead and do something like this. Okay, if you don't want this, okay, read a document. Okay, read a document based on its id. Okay, so I'll just write a db.blogs dot find. Actually, I don't think I have this find by id. Okay, so find. I don't think I have this find by ID function right here, because this find by ID is actually just okay. So actually, this find by ID function is not natively supported by this MongoDB extension. Okay, so we'll be just talking about this because this particular snippet. Okay, if I show you, I will be showing you that with the Mongo's package, we have this find by ID option. Okay, what we can do is we can just write a db dot blogs dot find one underscore ID, just provide a string here and just run this, and we will just get the playground result. And so it's actually returning me null. So let me see what's happening here. Okay, so let me just do one thing. I'll just provide dollar $OID. Okay, now let me see what's happening here, because okay, I'm just running it here and it's also returning me this error. I don't know what's happening here. Uh, it should actually work. Okay, let me see again. Dollar $OID. So let me see what's happening here. Okay, so let us use this object ID function here. Okay, and what I will do is I'll just paste this here, run this, yes, and yeah, now we can get this. Now I have asked ChatGPT about this. Now it's telling that it's particularly the issue that you cannot use this dollar $OID operator right here because it's not supported. So you have to use this object ID function instead of using this dollar $OID operator. Okay, so now we can get based on the IDs rather than on the slug. Okay, now we have a bunch of filters right there. Now what I will do is I will just go ahead and just cannot edit and read only editor. So okay, so what I'll just write ask it write uh, to add create different created fields to existing documents. First, not just I will be just executing this query, but I'll be telling you about this. Okay, so or let us, it will actually create this update one, find update one right here. Okay, so what we have to do is actually here we have to manually update everything. Okay, we have to do it manually. So I don't want that. So what I will do is I'll just pause this video here and regenerate all the blocks. So right here what I did is I just added this created field which has this created before 10 hours, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 hour. So if I reload this, you can see that I am having all these documents right here. Okay, so what I will do is now I will just go ahead and write here something like filter based on greater than or less than. Okay. Filter based on greater than or less than. Now what I will do is I will just go ahead and write a dp.blocks.find. Okay, and write a dollar, and if you type dollar you can see that we have got a lot of things, a lot of filters right here. So what I will do is I'll write a dollar gt actually, dollar gt. So I want to filter out the blocks which are just greater than the, okay, just greater than this date. Okay, now if I run this, you will see that we'll get nothing because every document that we actually what happened is uh, okay, sorry. Actually, we have to provide the created field. Okay, so created and right here we have to provide like this. Now, what I will do is I will just filter out all the documents which have the created field greater than the this particular date. Okay. Now, if we'll just go ahead, you have to return an empty array. Okay. It will return an empty array because none of the documents have dates greater than this. Now, what can I do is I can just write here 5, okay, 5 and just delete all the documents from here. Now, what can I do is I can just run this again. Okay. Now, if I'll go ahead and run this query, we will get a single document. Okay, an array of a single document. Now, this date is of the last document. Okay, whose date was set 5 hours ahead of the current date. Now, what we can do is this is greater than and less than. What this will do, it will return all the rest of the 9 documents from here to the beginning. Okay. Now, what can you do is if I run this, we're getting all the 9 documents. And if I'll do something like LTE, that is less than or equal to, we will get all the 9 documents. Still we'll be getting that because this means less than or equal to. If I'll provide GTE, that is greater than or equals to, you can see that we are getting a single document, that is the last document that we have inserted. Okay, now what we can do is actually $in. Okay, $in actually this operates like let us say item, and let us see about $in operator. Okay, and resources, let us see about the documentation. Where is the documentation? Uh, get started. Okay, not get started actually. Wait a second, let me search for where is the documentation. And after searching for $in, let me see what I'm getting. Uh, so I had to go separately on the documentation page right here. So I'll just search for $in. Okay. And I hope I will get the, okay. Now here we have the $in. Okay. Now right here, what we can do is actually $in selects the documents where the value of a field equals to any value in the specified array. Okay, let us do one thing. Okay, so what I'll do is here in the first document, let me add a field after this, after content. Okay, let us name this field as tags. Okay, and this will contain one array. Okay, this will be an array. Okay, Python. Okay, then a plus. Okay, Flask. Okay, so I'll update this and document was modified. What happened? So let me just do one thing. Let me see what's the problem. Sorry, it should be an array. Okay, so now you can see that array has been inserted right here, the tags array. Now, what I will do is I will just go ahead and see our documentation for $in. Now, right here, what can I do is I can just write here tags, okay, and Python. Okay, so what I will do is I'll just go ahead and query out this. Okay, yes, and here you can see that we are getting this document. Now, $in actually operates on an array, and here what can I do is if I'll do it like this, NIN, not N. If I'll run this, you can see that we're getting all the 9 documents. Okay, I don't think that we need much more than this. Okay, if we need that, I will be telling you, and I may provide you a cheat sheet at the end of this video. Okay, so let us proceed to our next module. So this is our module number 5. Now, in this module, we'll be discussing how we can update a specific document, or we can also update in bulk using MongoDB. Okay, right here I'm inside my Visual Studio Code, and let me show you something that I have inserted 100 documents. Okay, right here these are some dummy documents that I've inserted, and I'll be performing update functionalities on this particular collection. Okay, right here what I will do is I will go ahead and create a module. Okay, module 5.mongodb.js. Okay. And here what I will do is I will go ahead and connect to my localhost instance. Okay, right here I'll just write use. Okay, use, then I'll write my database name, that is MongoDB crash course. Okay, and after writing that, I have already told you that how you can find many what documents. So db.courses.find, and with empty filter set, we can find everything. Okay, if I click on this run icon, let us just go ahead, and here you can see we are getting the output on this sidebar. Okay, title, we can see the output on the right side. Okay, now right here, what I want to do is I want to update this particular document Okay, and I want to set the price to, let us say, 299. Okay, so there is a way how we can do it, like db.courses. Okay, let us say db.courses dot find. Okay, find an update. We can just go ahead and do something like find an update, but what I will do is I'll just go ahead and write a update one. Update one. Now, what we can do is we can just pass in some filter here, underscore id and object id. Let us say we'll pass the object id. Okay, and right here object id is this one. Okay, that I'll be passing. This is my underscore id, and what I will do is I want to just, let us say, update the price. So we'll be using this dollar set. Okay, so dollar set, and right here what I'll do is I'll just write price. I'll set price to 399. Let us say 399.99. Okay. I want to do this thing. Now, if I'll run this, click on yes, and you can see matched count one, modified count one. Now, what can I do is I can just go ahead and if I'll just run this find query. Okay. Let us say we want to run this find one query. Let us say we'll run just db.courses.find one, db.courses.find one. Okay, underscore id, that is object id. Okay, right here I want to just see that whether it has been updated or not. Okay, so we can run. I can see that it has been updated to 399.99. Okay, like this you can update. Now how to bulk update everything? Okay, let us say I want to bulk update all the documents, all the courses which have a price of 199. Okay, I want to set all the prices. Let me just refresh this 390. All the courses having the price 199. I want to set the price to, let us say, 699. Okay, I want to just set the price to 690. So what I will do is I'll write a db.courses.update menu. Now let me tell you one thing, that if you pass empty filter set and just pass in something like dollar set, okay, dollar set and price of, let us say, 699.99, what this will do is without any filters it will just modify all the 100 documents except for some specific documents. Okay, be careful whenever you are executing this particular method in our production databases. Rather, what I will do is I'll just write here price 199.99. Run this, yes, and you can see matched count 19, modified count 19. Now, wherever you will have this price of 199, you will see that we'll have a price of 699.99. Let us reload it. You can see now at wherever I had the price 199.99, I am having the price of 699.99. Let us say I am doing this without any filters. Okay, I'm doing this without any filters, and I will just set the duration of all the courses. Let us set to 12. Okay, and I'll not pass any filter set here. This will be empty. Okay, this will be empty, an empty filter set. Right here, what I will do is I'll just set duration to, let us say, 12. If I do this, you will see that the matched count and modified count will be 100. If I do this, yes, you can see that modified count 94. Actually, what happened is some courses already have this duration 12. So, so if I'll reload this, I can see all the documents have the duration as 12. Now, if I'll do it 9, now what will happen is modified count will be 100. It will modify all the documents to have duration of 9. Okay. Now, as you can see that we have done this. Okay. Now, what I want is, let us say I want to update. Okay, db dot find db dot find. Okay, find and modify. Okay, for find one and update. It will work as same as the update one method because it will also need this filter part. Okay, now what if I want to update many? Okay, I want to update all the courses which have a price, let us say greater than this. Okay, let us say I want to update the courses price greater than 200. Okay, so I'll write a price. Okay, price, then I'll write a $GT. $GT, let us say I want to update all the courses above the price 140. Okay, above the price 140, and just write a dollar set duration to, let us say 12. Okay, let us say 12. Now if I'll execute it, you will see here on the right hand side matched count 80, modified count 80. Now if I reload it, you will see that all the courses, okay, all the courses having price greater than 140 have been updated right here. Okay. Or let us see if I'll do something like LT, and I want to update all the documents less than having price less than 300. Okay. So I'll just set the duration to 8 hours, or let us say only 8. So if I'll run this, okay, reload it. Now you will see somewhere around 149 we have the duration of 8. Okay, like this we can like update a single document, or you can bulk update everything. But let me tell you, don't use the means we don't use this bulk update often. Okay, we'll be only using this update one method rather many a times. Okay, so this was the end of this module. Let us meet in the next module, in which I'll be telling you how you can delete a single document or how you can delete in bulk. So this is our module number 6, and in this module we'll be learning how we can bulk delete or delete a specific document in MongoDB. Let us proceed. Okay, right here I'm inside my Visual Studio Code. Now if you're unable to follow me up in Visual Studio Code, don't worry, you can do everything else you in the Mongo division inside the MongoDB compass. Okay, now right here what I will do is I'll just go ahead and create a sorry, module 6 dot mongodb.js. Okay, and here let me just connect to my database, and similar to update we can just do something like right here we'll just do MongoDB crash course. Okay, and right here what can I do? I can just write a db dot courses dot find. Okay, db.courses.find without any filter set, it will return all the documents. This is a silly question. Okay, and right here, what I want to do is, let us say I want to delete this one, big data analysis document, a single document from here. Okay, so db.courses.delete one. Okay, delete one, and let us say I want to just pass in this underscore id. Okay, that is object id, like this. Okay, and if I run this and click on yes, now you can see it returned me deleted count 1. Now I think the big data analytics course has been deleted right here. Okay, so you can see that we don't have that big data analytics course right here. So that has been deleted. Okay, it's a very simple thing. Now it will take a very short time. Now, one dangerous command that can destroy all of your documents. Okay, before running that, let us go ahead and delete all the documents having this price. That is 149.99. Okay, so db.courses.delete many. Okay, so right here, let us say we'll get the price, that is 149.99. Now it will delete all the documents having price 149.99. You can see delete count 20. Okay, so it has deleted all the documents which had the price 149.99. If I'll run this, we'll not find a single document that will have the price of 149.99. Okay, and one dangerous command that will just delete all of your data, and I do not suggest this particular thing whenever you are if you're using MongoDB in our production. This will cause a huge hazard to your application because it will delete all the documents. Right here you can see why 79, because first this one deleted one document, this one deleted 20 documents, 21 already have been deleted, and remaining 79 have been already deleted. So what I'll do is if I'll run this, you'll see that we'll get one empty result array. Okay, so what I will do is I'll just go ahead and just get all of my courses back. I already have exported all the courses and downloaded as a JSON file. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just click on import data and I'll just uh, import this data right here, dummy courses.json. Okay, stop on errors, then import, and right here you can see that all the documents are back. Okay, so right here, if I'll run this again, you'll see that all of my documents are back. Okay, so why did I retrieve back all of my documents? Because I want to show you how you can connect MongoDB to your Node.js project. Okay, so this was the end of our module number 6, and the next module will be the last module for this course. And let us proceed to the next module. So this is our module number 7, and right here what I will do is I will go ahead and click on this new terminal, and what I will do is, okay, what I'll do is I'll just write a npm init -y. Okay, so that I can initialize a Node.js package, and the type will be set to CommonJS. Let us keep that one. Okay, and here you can see the main entry point is set to this module 3, but I want to create a main.js. Okay, and just let me know one thing. Mongoose demo. Okay, so we'll be using the package that is named Mongoose. Okay, title what I'll do is I'll just rename it to main.js. Okay, main.js. Now let us go to the package name is mongoose demo. Okay, so let us go to mongoose demo, and right here what we can do is we can use something called mongoose. Okay, so to use mongoose I have to first go ahead to the official mongoose document, mongoose JS. If you only type mongoose, it will show you the details of mongoose animal. So I'll just go for this mongoose JS. To install mongoose JS, okay, what can I do is I can just go ahead and write here npm I mongoose. It will install mongoose. Now to use mongoose right here, what you have to do is you have to import mongoose. Okay, so as we are using common JS, okay, require const mongoose is equal to require mongoose. Okay, const mongoose equals to require mongoose, and right here const connect is equal to async function. Okay, async function, and we can write a await mongoose dot connect to our local instance MongoDB localhost. Okay, 27017, and providing a forward slash we can just provide our database name MongoDB crash course. Now here what will happen is it will just connect to our database. So let us just write here console.log connected to database, or let us connect to MongoDB. Okay, connected to MongoDB, and right here I'll just write connect if I'll run this connect, and let me just rename it to connect to DB. Okay, connect DB. Let us say connect DB because connect is already defined inside Mongoose. I don't want to conflict with that. So if I'll run this, you will see that it will run this node. And right here we are getting this message connect to MongoDB. And here what we can do is we can define some schemas. Okay, what are schemas? Schemas are basically the structure of your document that you're going to be storing inside your MongoDB. Right here we have this courses collection. Okay, courses collection. So what we can do is we can just write here courses course.js. Okay, so require mongoose. Okay, and write here const course schema is equal to new mongoose.schema. Okay, and right here what can I do? I can just write here title. Okay, title right here. I'll do something like this, type string and required true. Okay, required true, then description, then we'll have price. Okay, price will be of type number, then we'll have the instructor, not constructor, instructor. Okay, so instructor, this will be also of type string. Okay, and required true. Okay, required true, and we can also have a duration type of number. Okay, and required true. Okay, required true. And right here, what we can do is we can just go ahead and just write here module dot exports is equal to right here. We'll just write course. Okay, course new. Sorry, not new. Mongoose dot model. Okay, mongoose dot model. The name will be course, and we'll just provide the course schema right. Okay, now what we can do is we can just no semicolons. Okay, so just write course here and it will automatically import course. Okay, now what we can do is const async. Okay, find all documents. Okay, find all documents and right here what happened here async function actually async function. Okay, find all documents and right here what can I do is I can write here courses is equal to await course dot. So we have to actually leave structure like this. Okay, so right click format document course dot find. Okay, now here we can see that we're getting a lot of methods that we can run. Okay, now it will not return, it will not do anything because writer will not connect this particular thing. So find all documents, let us save this, and this will not work if you will not rerun the command. Now, okay, so actually what I need to do is, okay, so node dot dash dash watch. watch everything inside this particular what happened. CD Mongo's demo. Okay, so connected to MongoDB now right here, and I just write console.log courses. Save it and should just run this. Okay, right here you can see we are getting all the 100 documents. Now here what you can do is, in if you remember, we are updating like this, but we don't need to we don't need to do like this. Rather what we can do is, okay, so update menu wherever the price is 199.99. Okay, async function update docs. Okay, update docs, and right here. Okay, so what we can do is we can do something like this, or else, okay, let me just run this command to just query out all the blocks, or let us see the blocks directly. Okay, so let me copy this ID, copy this ID. Now, right here, what we can do is, right here, await, okay, course. Okay, dot find by id and update. Now right here you can directly pass in the id as a string without filtering that. Okay, without no, passing that as a filter set, directly pass the id. And right here we have the dollar set. Okay, dollar set, and we can set the price to, let us say, 299.99. Now it's very easy to do this because what happens is, Node.js has a great support for MongoDB. Okay, if I'll save it, you will see that it will update the first document. You can see 299.99. Okay, you can do everything like this. Okay, but there are some exceptions because some of the methods are not available. Okay, so this is all about MongoDB and how to use MongoDB with Node.js. I know there are a lot of things like foreign keys and relationships with other documents, but that will be a separate thing. Okay, if you require a detailed course on MongoDB, you can just comment down below and I'll be making that for sure, which will cover all the aspects of MongoDB. Thank you everyone for watching this video, and I will see you next time.